Good morning, Arizona. This is your Arizona Family on the Go podcast. It's a Monday. I'm Scott Passmore. We have another first alert weather day for you, but not because of the heat. Today's first alert is because of the chance for storms. We did see some rain overnight across the valley, but didn't seem to cause any damage. But let's get over to April with a look at what you can expect for today's forecast. April.
Hey, good morning to you. Hot and humid today with more thunderstorms likely. Your first alert forecast includes a 60% chance of storms this afternoon and evening. Look for a high of 108 degrees. Storm chances continue tomorrow with a high of 107. Starting Wednesday and lasting through the rest of the week, we'll dry it out and warm it up. Look for highs back above 110 degrees by Wednesday. Through the weekend, when we'll be close to 114 degrees both Saturday and Sunday.
April, thank you. Remember, you can stay up to date on the latest changing weather conditions with the AZ Family First Alert weather app. Well, the focus has shifted to the monsoon, but the heat is still obviously a concern. A wildlife rescue in Phoenix is seeing a huge increase in animals being dropped off. Staff at Liberty Wildlife say more people are coming in with animals in need. In fact, they see about 10,000 animals a year. This year, it's already treated about 8,000, partly because of how hot it's been. But the monsoon tends to bring in even more wildlife needing help. And this already tends to be the busiest time of the year for the rescue. And they expect the rain and strong dust storms to make it even busier.
Especially when the monsoon storms start coming and we get winds. So you're seeing them fall onto the ground where, of course, our pavement is hot. We can get upwards of 150 animals brought in just on that day alone.
And Liberty Wildlife has already had about 300 volunteers to help out this year with the increased workload so far. Well, this historic heat wave also damaging saguaros across our state, many of them drying out and collapsing, and experts fear the changing climate could be a real problem for cacti. Seeing them drying out and even broken down on the ground, obviously a sad sight. The plants are adapting to the heat in the summer, but experts say they need at least some water for their seeds.
So these seeds are in the sun and it's hotter than ever. They are cooking and dying. That's the real issue here. The vast majority, 99%, maybe a lot more than 99%, die in the sun.
Experts from the University of Arizona are questioning if the dry period we're seeing will become the new normal. We need some monsoon storms to help these cacti survive. On the wildfire watch this morning, firefighters still battling the Grapevine fire east of Prescott Valley. The flames have burned more than 1,000 acres and is at 0% containment right now. Fire started earlier this month after a lightning strike. And fire crews say the racetrack fire near Cherry, Arizona, expected to be fully contained today. That's because of monsoon storms hitting the high country. It's burned around 400 acres after sparking from lightning last week. The Prescott National Forest is still under Stage 1 fire restrictions. Happening today, a former Valley mom who was convicted of murdering 2 of her children will be sentenced later this morning. A jury found Lori Vallow guilty in May. She'll appear in an Idaho courtroom this morning and faces the possibility of life in prison without parole. Her children's bodies were found buried on her husband's property in Idaho in June of 2020. Once Lori Vallow is sentenced in Idaho, she'll be extradited back to Arizona to face charges in the murder of her former husband, Charles Vallow, who was shot and killed inside Lori's Chandler rental home in July of 2019. And investigative reporter Morgan Lowe is in Idaho to cover the sentencing today. 7 people looking for a new place to stay this morning after a late night fire. This happened near 3rd Avenue in Buckeye. Firefighters were called out to an apartment fire around 10:30 last night. Crews found heavy smoke and flames coming from 2 east side windows. The fire was quickly put out and no one was hurt. They're still trying to figure out exactly how that started. A northern Arizona family wants to know where their 16-year-old son is. They haven't seen Jared Brooks in nearly a month. His family hired a PI to figure out what happened, and they're now offering a $50,000 reward. His parents say the money is from an anonymous donor. The family hopes it will motivate people to send in tips to help them find their son. His parents say they have not heard from him since the 4th of July. His mom says that morning Jared asked if he was grounded after breaking a vehicle. He took off roading when he wasn't supposed to. She told him he was, but didn't think much of it.
This is so uncharacteristic of him, that we do question whether or not he's safe. Unimaginable.
Every minute of every day, you try to find those minutes where you're not thinking about it because they're far and few between.
And Jarrett was last seen on Boyce Road in Joseph City on July 4th. If you have any information on where he might be, call the Navajo County Sheriff's Office. By the way, he has a scar above his upper lip to identify him.
It is difficult waiting for the call every day. Anytime I get a call from the hospital with that area code, I jump to my phone and hope that maybe this is it.
A 15-year-old boy anxiously awaiting for a life-saving and history-making surgery. He would become the first person in Arizona to go through a heart and liver transplant. Griffin Montejo has been at Phoenix Children's Hospital for more than 2 weeks waiting for a donor. He has a rare heart defect that is damaging his liver. And once a donor is found, Griffin would become the first pediatric patient in state history to receive 2 transplants at once. So we wish.
It's the not knowing when it would be different if we just knew what the date would be and we're just waiting for that date, but we don't know when that date could be. It could be tomorrow, it could be in a week, a month, we don't know.
And we wish Griffin the best of luck, and we hope you have a great Monday.